Sergio Perez is currently in a very delicate spot in his Formula One career, especially with the growing pressure on his future at Red Bull. The Mexican driver, who has been a key figure for the team alongside Max Verstappen, now finds himself in a position where his performances in the final races of the season will be critical in deciding whether he'll stay with the team for 2024. What's really at stake for Perez isn't just the points he racks up for Red Bull but also the financial impact he brings to the team, particularly from his sponsors. The companies backing the driver play a significant role in contracts and negotiations, and they expect results. This makes Perez constantly under a microscope. In the final 3 Grands Prix, the pressure will be even more intense. Perez knows that his performances could make all the difference. The team has already shown a preference for fast and consistent drivers, and Perez's recent highs and lows haven't gone unnoticed. Will he be able to turn things around and secure his spot at Red Bull, or will the team opt for a change in 2024? What do you think? Do you believe Perez can keep his seat, or do you think Red Bull has already made other plans? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to know what you think. With Perez's situation already complicated, the controversy sparked by his father, Antonio Perez, only adds more pressure. We'll dive into that in the next chapter. Stay tuned, because things are about to heat up. Just when Sergio Perez's future seemed uncertain, things took an unexpected turn thanks to his father, Antonio Perez. Recently, Antonio made some controversial statements about Ralf Schumacher, which quickly caused a stir in the Formula One world. His remarks were harsh and, unfortunately, they added fuel to the fire of criticism surrounding his son. Now, you might be thinking, how could a family member's words affect a driver's career? Well, in the high-profile world of F1, everything counts, especially when it comes to public perception. The comments made by Antonio didn't just stir the pot, they directly impacted how the public views Sergio. It's one thing to face pressure from within the team, but it's another to have these external controversies clouding your image. This isn't the first time we've seen family members stir up trouble in F1. You might remember Nelson Piquet's comments about Lewis Hamilton, which caused a massive backlash. These types of situations often lead to a damaged reputation and a need for the team or the driver to distance themselves from the drama. But what's interesting here is that, unlike the Piquet incident, Formula One hasn't made a public stance on the matter yet. So far, there's been no official response, which leaves the situation hanging in the air. What's your take on this? Should a driver be held accountable for their family's comments, or should it stay separate? Let me know in the comments. As we get deeper into this, the pressure on Perez and Red Bull continues to build. The team now faces more than just internal challenges, they also have to manage their image in the eyes of the sponsors and the public. And with that, the stakes are getting higher by the day. Let's dive into how the sponsors are playing a role in Perez's future in the next chapter. At the highest levels of Formula One, sponsors play a critical role, not just for the teams, but for the drivers too. In Sergio Perez's case, his performance is directly tied to the support he receives from his sponsors. These companies have a lot riding on the driver's success, and they expect results in return for their investment. It's a delicate balance where on-track performance and off-track relationships go hand in hand. Red Bull is a powerhouse in terms of brand partnerships, but even they can't escape the impact of a driver's performance on the sponsor landscape. Perez's inconsistent results this season haven't gone unnoticed by the brands backing him. As we saw earlier, Perez's father's controversial comments only add to the tension, making sponsors even more concerned about the image they're aligning with. The situation is becoming increasingly tense as Red Bull has to keep their sponsors satisfied while managing the ongoing drama surrounding Perez. Interestingly, there's been talk about a potential replacement for Perez, someone like Franco Colapinto, who has strong backing from sponsors in his region. Colapinto is a promising talent, and his sponsorship support could provide the financial backing Red Bull is looking for, especially as they face increased pressure from their partners. This is where things get even trickier for Perez. If his performances don't improve and he loses some of that sponsor support, Red Bull might seriously consider making a change. As a fan, it's fascinating to watch how much of the F1 world is driven by the business side of things. It's not just about speed on track, it's about maintaining the right relationships off track. Do you think the financial side of the sport should be so influential in a driver's career, or should it be all about talent? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. We're aiming for 1,000 subscribers, and your support means a lot. With the sponsor situation continuing to evolve, Red Bull is facing a lot of pressure. And while Perez deals with these external forces, the team has other challenges on the horizon as well. Let's talk about how the end of the season is shaping up and how it impacts everything for Perez and Red Bull in the next chapter. As we approach the final races of the season, all eyes are on Sergio Perez, who has a lot riding on these last few Grand Prix. The upcoming Las Vegas Grand Prix will be especially critical for Perez. His performance there could be the deciding factor for whether he remains with Red Bull in 2024. The pressure is mounting, and Perez knows that if he doesn't deliver, his future with the team might be in jeopardy. But it's not just Perez's future that's in the spotlight. The championship race for the constructors' title is heating up as well. Red Bull, with its dominance this season, is still in a strong position, but McLaren and Ferrari are quickly closing the gap. Every point matters in these final stages, and Perez's role in securing those points for Red Bull is more important than ever. If Perez can't keep up with Verstappen's consistent performances, Red Bull might start looking elsewhere for a more reliable second driver. Las Vegas, however, offers a unique opportunity for Perez. The event has gained massive attention due to its glamorous setting and the spectacle surrounding it. This could be Perez's chance to prove his worth, both to his team and to his sponsors. A strong finish in Las Vegas could go a long way in convincing Red Bull to keep him for another year. But if he falters again, the consequences could be severe. What do you think? Will Perez rise to the occasion in Las Vegas, or will his struggles continue? Let me know your predictions in the comments. And while you're at it, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're getting closer to our goal of 1,000 subscribers, and your support is vital. With everything on the line in Las Vegas, Perez's fate could be decided. But the situation is even more complicated, as Red Bull faces new challenges beyond just performance. In the next chapter, we'll explore the controversies surrounding the Las Vegas GP itself and how it affects the sport as a whole. Stay tuned. The Las Vegas Grand Prix was already shaping up to be one of the most talked about events of the season, but it's not just the glitzy lights of the strip that have been in the spotlight. There's been significant controversy surrounding the event. Last year, the race faced criticism over various logistical issues, including its accessibility and the overall fan experience. With such a high-profile race taking place in one of the most iconic cities in the world, it's no surprise that the expectations were sky-high. But unfortunately, not everything went as planned. One of the biggest concerns was the limited viewership for some fans due to poor seat placement, something that affected how many people experienced the event. On top of that, there were complaints about the event's organization, with long delays and communication issues that led to frustrations for both fans and participants. These challenges raised some serious questions about Formula One's ability to handle the expansion into new markets. As the sport continues to globalize, balancing the spectacle with a high-quality fan experience is more important than ever. While the F1 leadership hasn't officially commented on these issues, the event's reception highlights broader concerns about how the sport is evolving. There's a growing sense that Formula One is prioritizing spectacle and growth over its core fan base, especially when it comes to the logistics of some of these new races. And with Perez's performance, and his family's controversial statements, this all adds to the tension and drama surrounding the sport. As fans, it's important to consider the bigger picture here. We love the action on track, but how much should we accept when the experience starts to feel more like a corporate event than a race for the true F1 enthusiasts? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments. Do you think F1 is losing touch with its roots, or is the growth worth these growing pains? Let's talk about it. As we wrap up, the situation with Perez is a perfect example of how the pressures of Formula One extend far beyond the racetrack. The financial, familial, and public relations challenges all play a role in shaping a driver's career. And with the growing controversies and pressure to perform, Perez's future with Red Bull, and in F1, remains uncertain. Thanks for sticking with me through this breakdown. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, and your support is absolutely crucial. Let's keep this conversation going. Drop your comments, thoughts, and predictions below.